Welcome back to another Healthy Wine Homeboy. Today I'm excited to be prepping and making kale soup. I like this meal because it's one of my favorite soups from my mom. This is her recipe, so I'm excited to share this process with you guys. Let's start it. Alright, so first of all, we're going to start with cutting our chicken and onion, and then we're going to put that into the pot and let that start cooking while we get the other stuff prepared. We're gonna start with the chicken first because that's raw, and you want that to cook faster because it will just take longer. So let's get that started. So let's start with this chicken really quick. So we're gonna cut it this way. Now, when you're dealing with raw food, you're always going to make sure that you wash your cutting board so that you don't get the raw food and all the, not raw food, I guess, you know. You don't want to cross-contaminate your food. It's not good. You don't want to get sick from that. So, yeah. So my family is very notorious for making soups, I would say. I know that there was this one year where every single time we went over to my grandma's house, we would have soup. I don't know why she always made soup. I just think it's like just one of the things that it's easy to make, you know. Everybody usually enjoys it. I mean, some people don't, but I enjoy it. I like soup. So we're just gonna have soup tonight. I also haven't made soup for you guys yet. Gonna try to keep all the foods different. So yeah, that's about it really. You guys can just watch me cut this. Alright guys, now we're going to cut this onion up. Doesn't really matter with the raw chicken because it's all going in the same pot right now. We will wash our board afterwards so that we don't cross-contaminate. Just so we're not being bad influences on cooking, and you know, so some professional chefs don't get mad at me. That'd be kind of sad and embarrassing. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're already mad at me, but whatever, you know. So, you know, let's speed this part up too. Oh, I'm already starting to cry. I hate cutting onions. Oh my gosh. If any of you guys have some tips on how not to cry, I'd appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Happy tears. Oh, I dropped some onion. All right. So now that we have this on, we're gonna put this in the pot, and we'll come back and start our veggies. so bad.
He was literally crying on it. He's like, so will you finish this? And now we're gonna start.
Alright. Just gonna add all this in here. And then I need it somewhere else. Try not to spill any of this. Oh, I just spilled a whole bunch. Sorry, I'll clean it up right now. Oh, I just spilled it. Alright. There's that. Alright, we're gonna season this up really quick before we go put our vegetables. Just gonna put some salt in there. Some garlic powder. Garlic powder. That's what we're good. And then last but not least, some pepper. Then we'll put a little more salt. Feel like it might be good. Can never have too much salt. And then where's my spoon? We're just gonna get that all stirred up. Already added oil, so don't have to worry about that. Yeah. So we're just gonna let this cook, and then we're gonna go get the rest of our stuff going while we let that do that. Alright, we're gonna get these carrots cut up so we can add them into the soup, and then we'll move on to the potatoes afterwards. Alright, so now that we're done, we're going to add this into the soup, and then we'll come back and do the potatoes. Alright, so we're going to prep the rest of the stuff while the soup is going. First, we're going to do these mini potatoes. Mom's recipe calls for sweet potatoes, but we don't have sweet potatoes, so she said that these will be just as sufficient and good. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And then after we do these potatoes, we'll prep the kale, and then also see if the soup needs any more stirring. Just mixing in and getting all the stuff cooked. And yeah. Alright, potatoes are done. We're gonna let that go off to the side. And next, we're using Trader Joe's cow, because why not? Just gonna slice that open. And we're gonna use the whole bag, because why not? More kale, more kale, you know? It's a lot of kale. Just a little bit in the bag. It's a lot more kale than I thought. Probably should have rinsed this before we put it on here, but we'll do that right now. Come back when it's all rinsed. So I did have to move you guys over to this one. It was over here, but my phone died while filming, so just making lemonade with lemons. So I mean, not really. We're making soup, so it doesn't really kind of go with this. But anyway, So, it looks like everything's kind of getting cooked in there. So we're gonna add our potatoes. We're not gonna add our kale just yet. We're gonna add that more in when the when we put the broth in, which we'll add in a few minutes. Probably time lapse this part for you guys. Alright, we're gonna go time lapse this part for you guys. Alright, we're gonna add the broth now. Yeah, we're gonna use chicken broth. Cool. And that's about it. We just need to add the kale, but we're gonna let that go for a bit more. We'll come back, add the kale, let that cook for a bit, and then read our Bible and taste it. Alright, we are now going to add our kale, and then we're going to get to eating it after we let the kale settle in. I don't know what that is. We'll mix that in a second. Alright. I just want to give a shout out to my mom for helping me with this meal, giving me the recipe, and then kind of telling me how things kind of go with it. So big shout out there. Thank you, Mom, for doing that. Appreciate you. And I love you. Alright. So we're going to let this sit here for a minute. And then we'll come back and we'll get to eating it. Welcome back to another reading from the Bible. Today we're going to be reading Psalms 2, 3 through 6. So let's begin. Let us break their bonds in pieces and cast away their cords from us. He who sits in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall hold them in derision. Then he shall speak to them in his wrath and distress them in his deep pleasure. Yet I have set my king on my holy hill of Zion. I like these verses because it shows how powerful God can be, and he's a just God. So we should fear him for knowing that he's able to do all these things, but we should also love him because he can do all these things for us. And so I think it's always good to look at it both sides, to love him and to fear him. So it's always good. So yeah, let's go eat. Alright, we're going to try our soup. It's still a little hot, so forgive me if I can't hold the bowl. We're gonna try to get a little bit of everything on here. If I can. I think it's everything. I definitely do like it. It's really good. Not too salty, so that's always good. I don't really like super salty things. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Yeah. We'll give you guys a close-up look at this. You can see that. That looks good. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'll see you next time.